What's the deal, y'all, man? We back. We are back. And we got a lot to talk about today, man. Today we talking about Diddy. It has been very, very, very crazy past couple days. We've been getting all the drama, all the news, and all of the details. But people have not really been giving you really the inside pieces and really the important pieces of why Diddy is really getting taken down. You know, we all seen Diddy got his house raided. Um, and, I was like, man, why is this even happening in the first place? I'm going to tell you why this is happening. It started with Cassie. It started with Cassie. And I don't know if you guys even know, Cassie's legal team put out a statement for her and just in cahoots with her lawyers saying, we support this, and anything that is happening and has happened, we want him to get taken down in just kind of like some sorts of, putting all their words together. That's not exactly what they said, but that's pretty much what they said. And honestly, the Little Rodney case, I believe his name is Lil Rod or Rodney, I don't know his name. But that is also another reason, and they have pictures and evidence, which I'm pretty sure is another reason why the feds had more reason to raid both of his houses. Not one house, but two houses. So let me just show you a quick video of them raiding his house. And I know you guys probably all saw this.
Fox, as Diddy's home in Los Angeles has been raided by Homeland Security. Of course, we're learning more information. I do want to take you back out here before we get out to our Fox 11 team in their coverage, because some of this video is very dramatic, and we don't know a ton of information right now about this here on Live and Now from Fox. Of course, breaking news of this, as you can see, potentially law enforcement officials and other officials just outside of a gate, this on a street near.
And see, this is another thing that they said. They did research, and that's another thing too. The feds just don't come after you just because. They already have strong evidence to convict you. And I'm going to tell you this for all you goofies who may not know. They already have the evidence. Charges will be pressed on Diddy by the end of the year. Charges will be pressed on Diddy by the end of the year. Right when they took over.
The Beverly Hills area, of course.
As you can see, they're going inside the house.
Of course, we were watching
you know
this.
Who they went for
exactly
first?
What we were
his
seeing
security
at the time.
team.
So this is just a little bit
they
ago.
went for his security team first, so that they could not go for any. They cannot go for any video and try to damage anything.
As you'll see,
so you see, they going in this thing like the military.
Fool, force they are using to get inside this home, and of course,
they going this thing like the military.
This home
oh my
God, a very expansive one for the American rapper.
They getting behind the car. My boy Diddy got golf cart. He got golf carts. Diddy's house honestly looks pretty big. I'm gonna show you. They did a little bit of a sky over.
This on a number
you can tell this house is humongous. Look how many AC units he has. Look how many AC
of
units
information gathering that they've received and evidence or what they're looking for. So clearly this is not something they do.
Obviously a lot of you guys already see this video.
Right
if you did not know, his sons were also put in handcuffs. His sons were also put in handcuffs. So, as you guys know, his legal team were not very happy about this. They ended up coming and putting out a statement saying that, they kind of felt that they did a little bit too much. So this is what his legal team said about the feds coming in and raiding both of his houses. The scene around his home. This is an article. I don't know who put this out, but Diddy's lawyers respond to military level raid on his homes, and I believe it was Lou. I mean, but then again, if they coming after you, they don't know what they expecting. They know Diddy has guns. I mean, they got to be prepared for the worst. You know what I'm saying? Sean Diddy Combs' homes were raided yesterday, and his legal rep has come out to defend him, as any legal rep would. Lawyer Aaron Dyer is upset with federal agents after the musician's home in Los Angeles, New York, and Miami were raided. All three. This all comes after sex trafficking allegations against the music mogul, along with countless sexual assault lawsuits from women and former male employee. That is Lil Rod. We gonna read that. We're gonna read this case. It's gonna this is the only beginning of this video. Just wait. This scene around his home was somewhat chaotic. In Los Angeles, choppers flew overhead while HSI took place. Numerous police and agents were present with full protective gear. So let me explain something to you guys, because some of you guys may not know. When the feds come to your house, they only have that day. So they're gonna stay there as long as possible and try to go through any nook and cranny of the house. They're gonna try to take all electronics, anything that looks like it may not be yours, anything that looks like it can be evidence. They're taking everything, every single thing. Dyers responded to the raids on Tuesday. He said yesterday was a gross overuse of military level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. They probably all put them in handcuffs. You know why? Because they were probably going to try to scare them. They were going to I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. I'm just being honest, guys. This probably happened. They put his sons in handcuffs, and they probably put everybody that was in that house in handcuffs to probably scare them into saying anything that they have seen. But their employees, they probably haven't seen anything. I'm just being honest. I don't know. Yesterday, there was no excuse for excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. So employees, the only reason I'm not saying anybody else has seen anything else, but employees, I can't say they probably haven't seen anything. Now, there are probably some informants who have been saying some things about Diddy. So I don't want you to feel, no, I'm saying there's some informants who probably didn't say something. Let's be honest. Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities despite media speculations. Neither Mr. Combs or nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. That's pretty big. He added, this unprecedented ambush paired with an advanced coordinated media presence leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. That is, hey, I mean, they are civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. This is a big statement and will be brought up later when it comes to this. So I just want to be clear before I start all this. I'm gonna read this little Rod, this little Rodney. I believe his name is Little Rod or Little Rodney, whatever his name is. I'm gonna read this little Rod lawsuit, and I want you guys to let me know what you guys think, because his lawyer is saying that he's innocent, but as I heard, they went in, and if the feds, but that's contradicting, because if the feds are going after you, they already have kind of valid evidence, and they're gonna probably send you to jail. I don't know, guys. So let's get into this, right? This is the video of his house being trashed. They went through everything. Everything, guys. They went through everything. Crazy. Ooh. Apparently they found electronics, cameras, everything. Not the teddy bear. Not the teddy bear. That safe is definitely going to be a source of speculation. What's in the safe? This is going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the biggest things of 2025. I promise you now. Quote me now. Diddy is going to be one of the biggest topics of 2025. I promise you. Quote me now. Quote me now. As you can see, they went through all of, they zoomed in on the Holy Bible. You see, he got the I got the same pair of shoes. I can't. He got the Mason Mahars. I got those shoes. You know what I'm saying? He got all his shoes. Wow. Is that his daughter's room? They tore up everything. They tore up everything. So that goes to show you, you can look that video up, just them going through the house. That goes to show you they just went through everything. So I'm gonna read a little bit of a um just a little bit of a quick uh article from the LA Times about this Little Rod case. Before we start reading Little Rod case, I'm not gonna go through the whole Little Rod case because it's very long, but I'm gonna go through the key points that are very, very controversial. Diddy's love producer Little Rod accuses him and associates of sexual assault and illicit behavior. Right? So producer Rodney Little Rod Jones has filed a bombshell lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing the embattled media mogul of sexually harassing and threatening him over more than a year, as well as securing footage of Diddy and several of his associates involved in illicit behavior and alleged sexual assault. So basically, what he's talking about there, he got Cuba Gooding and like with pictures, I guess, involving a minor. Jones, who seeks 30 million in federal lawsuit, I'm telling you, Cassie blew this thing wide open. Cassie blew this thing wide open. Everybody getting that money now. Named several high profile figures in the entertainment business in the complaint. But only Diddy's son Justin Dior Combs, Universal Music Group chief executive Lucius Charles Grange, former Motown Records chief executive, Ethiopia I don't know how to say her last name, so I'm not gonna say it. Uh, Ethiopia H. I'm gonna just say that. Chalice Recorded Studios, the record labels, and Diddy's chief of staff, Christina KK Coram. Love Records and Combs Enterprises are named as defendants. The network of involved, Jones claimed, amounts to a violation of the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO. All right. All right. So, the Chicago-born producer produced 9 songs of Diddy's 2023 The Love album off the grid, filed a lawsuit Tuesday in U.S. Court of the Southern District of New York in the 75-page complaint obtained Tuesday by the Times. His attorney, Tyrone A. Blackburn, said that Jones' life has been detrimentally impacted ever since he agreed to produce the album in August 2022. That's very recent. Jones alleged that he was under an implied work for hire agreement with Combs and that he lived with the recording giant for months at a time in Combs' homes in Los Angeles, New York City, and Miami, as well as several weeks on a yacht rented by Combs in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Wow. Okay, so throughout his times with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed and experienced and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer on the Love album. The complaint said that Combs required Jones to record him constantly. The multi-instrumentalist, describing himself as a heterosexual Christian man, alleged that he was the victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. No Diddy. Anyway, advances expressing his complaints to Diddy's chief of staff, who allegedly told him, Sean will be Sean. Whoa. Okay, see, this is not okay. In response, Blackburn describes Coram as the Ghislaine Maxwell. Wow. As a Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs, Jeffrey Epstein. Whoa. That comparison is crazy. He also alleged that Combs tried to groom him into engaging in sex with fellow producer Steve Aaron Jordan, Stevie J. Guys, this is gonna be big, guys. I'm telling you, this is gonna blow up 2025. And promised to make sure that Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he engaged in homosexuality. He also provided Jones with alleged footage of people involved in sexual activity at Combs' home. Wait. He also provided Jones with alleged footage of people involved in sexual activity at Combs' homes, which Jones believed was procured through hidden cameras throughout Diddy's properties. Guys, this is gonna blow. Oh my God. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak off parties and his house parties. The complaint said, upon information and belief due to this treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Mr. Combs believes that he is above the law and is untouchable. Whew. Guys, I don't know. Jones has also alleged that he was sexually assaulted by a cousin of assistant rapper Young Miami, who is also mentioned. Young Miami is also mentioned in the case, who has dated Diddy, was sexually harassed and assaulted by Oscar winner Cuba Gooding Jr., and obtains footage of a rapper and R&B singer whose names have been redacted from the complaint. Why? On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs' staff and guests engaging in serious illegal activity. The complaint said, which includes screenshots of several of the incidents mentioned in the complaint. If this is true, that documentary is gonna go stupid. Guys, the documentary is gonna go dumb. If he has videos of this, I'm shaking in my boots. I'm shaking. If he has videos of this, I don't even know. I won't even know what to say. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. Okay, guys, we know. The producer said that he secures insufferable FM. He said he was sorry. I'm shaking. I'm sorry. The producer said that he secured irrefutable evidence of illicit activity, including Combs providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes, and the rapper's acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms, as well as displaying and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on.
Believes, and she's been hearing that we do not.
Jones said that he was at Chalice Recording Studios in Los Angeles when a shooting took place on September 12th, and accused Combs of giving him strict instructions to inform the police that Combs had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to police, telling him that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. The Stoop Drives describes G as a 30-year-old friend of Justin Combs. Jones alleged that he still has blood-stained clothing he wore the day while helping the victim, and provided screenshots of the aftermath of the restroom where G was shot by either Mr. Combs or Jay Combs. Wow. Jones accused Coram of instructing her staff to retrieve drugs so that she could provide them to Combs for his consumption. He also said the footage also shows Diddy's son Christian Combs drugging and sexually assaulting a woman. Additionally, he accused Combs of detailing how he planned to leverage his relationships with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact of his public image of Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. The rape and abuse lawsuit, settled last November, began Diddy's precipitous fall from grace over the past several months. Since then, Diddy has been accused of sexual assault by additional women and stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt TV, the media company he co-founded in 2013. Jones, who's previously made a public plea on social media for Combs to pay him for his work on the album, accused Love Records, Motown, and UMG of being unjustly enriched at his expense. In a Tuesday statement to the Times, Combs' attorney Sean Hawley called Jones a liar and accused him of shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. Wow. His reckless name dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines, Holly's statement said. Woo, guys. I don't know. I do not know. So let's get into it, right? So you know me, blame it on Chris. I gotta read the case. We gotta read the actual civil action case, right? We have to read the civil action case. Because why not? Anyway, so we're not gonna read this whole thing because we don't have time for all that. And it's 73 pages. I don't care that much. Anyway, and I just want to be clear about this. If Diddy is wrong, he deserves to go to jail. And anybody who has ever experienced sexual assault, also called SA, um, I my excuse me, how can I say this? Um, Anyone who has ever experienced sexual assault, um, yeah, my heart goes out to you. Diddy should be held accountable for their actions. Anyone who is, uh, anyone who sexual assault is always wrong, and it doesn't matter who it comes from. Cat Williams had the perfect words on his interview. He was they were talking about it on the Friday movie. It doesn't matter who it is, who it comes from. Sexual assault is never funny. Sexual assault is never funny to talk about. Sexual assault is never okay. It doesn't matter who it comes from or where it comes from. It's never okay and is always and will always be wrong. It doesn't matter how famous you are. It doesn't matter who you are. It could be the president of the United States of America. It's wrong. One thing I always stand by, I will always stand by respect womanhood to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? But I will always stand by this. If somebody's a liar, they're a liar. You know what I'm saying? There are always a lot of instances where people lie about some things they have experienced. And a lot of people do get caught up in that instance. I'm not talking about this instance, but there have always been situations where people lie about certain things that they have gone through. If they're lying about that, that is wrong as well. So my heart goes out to anybody who has experienced people who have lied on their name. But that is also wrong. People should not lie about things that they have gone through. But for this instance as well, if Lil Rod, if he has gone through this, my heart goes out to him and his family. But let's get into this case. Anyway, so we're Lil Rod, as we know. So obviously we have the defendant, Sean Combs, defendant Justin Dior Combs, Lucius Charles Grange, Ethiopia H. I don't know how to say her name. Shout out to my Habesha sisters and brothers. Christina Coram, Chalice Motown, Universal Love Records, Combs Global. Rodney Lil Rod Jones is from the Windy City, Chi-Town. He was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. And yeah, he's a child prodigy. Been doing music for a very long time. All right, so we're gonna get into the civil action lawsuit, and we're gonna go straight to page 12. Obviously, as you can see here, this was the incident where he was saying G was shot and he had him cover it up. The following are screenshots of the aftermath of the restroom where G was shot earlier by Mr. Combs or J. Combs. They does not clearly G was not shot outside the studio where Mr. Combs was shot. Instructed his team to report law enforcement, and they said they have a cover up of a law enforcement officer who's basically covering it up. So now this is page 12. Mr. Jones was sexually harassed and assaulted by Mr. Combs. So Sean Diddy Combs. Throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, Jones was the victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. Wrong. Wow. These events took place in LA, New York, Florida, and the United States Virgin Islands. In addition to the unsolicited and unauthorized touching, Mr. Jones was forced by Mr. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom as Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in a clear glass enclosure. Wow. As a heterosexual Christian man, so he is straight, Mr. Jones was uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances. I would be too. And expressed his discomfort to Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Christina Coram, KK. They called her. They're calling her KK. KK responded to Mr. Combs' complaint. Sean will be Sean. I don't. It doesn't matter, and I want to say this. It doesn't matter if you are gay, straight, or whatever community you belong to. If you are doing work in any field, you should be able to keep it professional. It doesn't matter if you work in a club. It doesn't matter if you're working in the entertainment industry. Keep it professional. I think that's where, if this is true, Combs possibly went wrong. Keep it professional. You know what I'm saying? And you don't, especially Lil Rodney. He probably didn't really know Lil Rodney. Especially he's saying he's a heterosexual man. You don't know him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know, bro. Like, keep it professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be my thing, bro. Like, I don't know you. I'm heterosexual as well, bro. Keep it professional, bro. What are you doing? If it's especially you gonna be Sean will be Sean, bro. I'm Chris. Chris is gonna be me. What are you doing? Keep it professional, bro. Why is he showering naked? Like, bro, get out of here. What are you talking about? Um, so, KK also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs' groping of Mr. Jones' anus and genitals as friendly horseplay and started those acts with Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. Despite these assurances, on several occasions, Mr. Combs began to undress and walk around his house naked. KK would say, "Okay, I'm leaving now," and would disappear. KK's hypocrisy is breathing as best as enabling at worst. Mr. Jones believed that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' sexually assaulting of him and was working with Mr. Combs to groom him and accepting a homosexual relationship. Through these sexual deviant acts, one would say Mr. Combs has a pattern of practice of engaging in such nefarious activity. This ongoing conduct shows that Mr. Combs cannot be rehabilitated. Wow. All right, so cool. As you can see, this is where it gets spicy. So we're gonna move on to page 14, right? Um, and as you could see, hold on. Whoa. So then we have Mr. Combs attempted to groom Mr. Jones into engaging in gay sex. Mr. Combs was aware that Mr. Jones looked up to and idolized producer Stephen Aaron Jordan, CBJ. CBJ is an American DJ, record producer, and television personality. CBJ is a part of Bad Boy Records production team, The Hitmen. In 1997, CBJ won a Grammy Award for his work on Puff Daddy's debut album. Throughout the 1990s, CBJ produced for several artists, including Mariah Carey, Tevin Campbell, the Notorious B.I.G., 112, Jodeci, Faith Evans, Jay-Z, and Eve. CBJ is one of the producers on the Love album. Mr. Combs accused Stevie J and his knowledge of Mr. Jones' admiration to Stevie J groomed and enticed Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. Mr. Combs went so far as to share a video of Stevie J anally penetrating a Caucasian male without a condom. This is getting deep. This is getting deep. Um, this was done to ease Mr. Jones' anxiety concerning homosexuality. According to Mr. Combs, this is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J is doing it. Whoa. Wow. Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper redacted R&B redacted R&B singer redacted Stevie J. Mr. Combs promised to make sure that Mr. Jones were the producer of the year at Grammys if he engaged in homosexuality. The following are screenshots of the video of Stevie J anally penetrating a Caucasian male that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones. Um. Wow. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Any case, okay. My mind is blown. My mind is blown, guys. My mind is blown. My mind is blown. My mind is blown. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Assaulted by Young Miami cousin. So we're gonna move to page 14. So now, Mr. Jones is assaulted by Young Miami's cousin. On Thanksgiving Day 2022, Mr. Jones was in Mr. Combs' house located in Miami, Florida. Young Miami and her female cousins were also present. Mr. Combs was intoxicated and offered cocaine to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones rejected him and proceeded to walk into the restroom. While using the restroom, Young Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs sent her in there to sexually assault Mr. Jones. Okay. As she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral sex on Mr. Jones' exposed penis. Mr. Jones pushed her away and exited the bathroom. Exited the bathroom. Wow, that's crazy. Yes, Young Miami's cousin did not accept Mr. Jones' rejection as he proceeded to follow Mr. Jones out of the bathroom. She started undressing and attempted to straddle him and have sex with him in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. I take back that. So maybe his staff do know some things. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they maybe put his staff in handcuffs and was like, yo. Once again, Mr. Jones puts her off. The following images are Mia Miami, her cousin Mr. Jones, and Mr. Combs. Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs are Thanksgiving game. Okay. Alright. Okay. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was transported from California to New York, Florida, and United States Virgin Islands. During this time, Mr. Jones was forced to solicit sex workers to perform sex acts to pleasure Mr. Combs. All right, cool. So there was a part where I guess he was supposed to solicit sex workers to, I guess, mess with Diddy. So we're gonna move to page 17. Sex workers in Mr. Jones' bed the morning after being drugged. So apparently he was being drugged. Another occasion in Miami, Florida on Thanksgiving night of 2022, Mr. Combs asked Mr. Jones to DeForest Taylor to enter the studio bathroom. He asked him for a $100 bill because he wanted them to do cocaine with him. Mr. Jones was scared, but luckily he didn't have a $100 bill, so Mr. Combs waited a little later to do coke with Young Miami. So now this is where it comes into play. Everybody's doing a controversy, right? Everybody's like, do coke with Young Miami. But then again, it's been coming out. A lot of celebrities have been saying that they have done coke. I ain't gonna name no names, but it's not hard to find out that a lot of black celebrities as well have been doing coke. Later that evening, he required the Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers from the booby trap on the river located at 3615 Northwest South River Drive, Miami, Florida. I don't want to read all that. Mr. Jones did so, and Mr. Combs forced him to engage in unsolicited sex acts with these workers. That's wild, and I definitely would not do that ever in my life. I don't care how bad you pushed. Why would you, no, bro. So this booby trap on the river thing, right? As part of Mr. Jones' sex worker recruitment tools, Mr. Combs provided Mr. Jones with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap, which and required him to wear it to booby trap on the river as a signal to any sex worker he approached that Mr. Combs was in town and had sent Mr. Jones to recruit them. Mr. Jones had no desire to visit booby trap on the river. Wow, that's wild. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit sex workers from booby trap on the river. Mr. Combs used his power to influence, to intimidate, and force Mr. Jones into soliciting sex workers from booby trap on the river. As detailed below, Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion and control of Mr. Jones. Apparently, these workers were accustomed to servicing Mr. Combs and would know that he was in town by the sight of the bad boy's baseball cap. The following are Instagram profiles of sex workers that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and to have sex with in his home. That's actually wild. That's actually wild. Yeah. So we're gonna move on. I'm just giving y'all the really juicy parts of this whole thing because I read this majority of this whole thing, right? So we're gonna go on to 20. Page 20. Mr. Combs and J. Combs solicit drugs and engage in illicit sex acts with minors and sex workers. Read the title again because you maybe have gotten shocked. Mr. Combs and J. Combs solicit drugs and engage in illicit sex acts with minors and sex workers. On about July 2nd, 2023, in California, Mr. Combs had a listening party at his home. Present at his party was an R&B artist, J. Combs, sex workers, and some underage girls. See, this is where I get mad because it's like, dude, how do you, why, where is the attraction? Like, dude, you guys are sick, man. Sick. Like, this is sick, man. Sick. Anyway, the event began at 7 p.m. Mr. Combs requested female sex workers and required Mr. Jones to solicit them. An hour later, several sex workers appeared. In addition to sex workers, there were at least 5 women in the crowd that were under the age of 16. Wow. Mr. Combs forced all the women to drink laced De Leon liquor. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. Terrible. Mr. Combs went so far as to take Mr. Jones' car keys to prevent them from leaving. After being forced to drink laced De Leon shots, Mr. Combs began feeling lightheaded and recalls passing out and waking up at 4 a.m. the following morning naked with a sex worker sleeping next to him. Screenshots of the video from the night is embedded below. Whoa. Mr. Jones attempts to pass off Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs was grooming him to pass him off to his friends. The fear became reality. Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. Whoa. Woo! Not Cuba Gooding. Not Cuba Gooding. The fear became reality. Okay, we read that already. During the introduction, Mr. Combs suggested that Cuba get to know Mr. Jones better. He then left alone in a makeshift studio on the yacht. Mr. Combs and Cuba Gooding moments before Mr. Jones was assaulted. As evidenced by video, which screenshots are embedded below, Cuba Gooding began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' legs, his upper inner thigh, near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulders. Oh, dang. Cuba. Damn. Mr. Jones was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Jones forcibly pushed him away. The following is a screenshot of the encounter with Cuba Gooding Jr. Whoa. Cuba Gooding Jr. forcibly touching Mr. Jones on Mr. Combs' yacht. Oh, whoa. He got the picture, bro. Is this the picture? Whoa. Woo. Guys. All right, so we're going to page 27, guys. Page 27. Page 27. Everybody heard about Gene Deal. So then again, this is the cop. I don't really have to go into it, but after like G was shot, they say this is the cop, or this is the dude that when anytime trouble happens, Fahim Muhammad, anytime trouble happens, they hit Fahim Muhammad, and they be like, hey, he's had a problem, and he handles it. All right, next up, we have page 33. So let's go to page 33. Obviously, we see drugs is involved. This is the dude that was recently arrested for, I guess he always has his drugs. He was arrested recently after the raid for having drugs. I forgot what is his name. Frankie Santella. Oh, Brendan Paul is his name. And we're going to go to page 33. Mr. Combs is allowed to wreak havoc. While living and traveling with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones discovered that Mr. Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his homes. Damn, he got no privacy. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs has recordings of defendants Lucian Charles Grange, Ethiopia H, as well as other celebrities, music label executives, politicians, and athletes. Could you imagine if all of those videos get revealed in like a list of every celebrity that has been at Diddy's parties came out. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? It's gonna shock the world. The world will be shocked. Like career ending for a lot of people. You see how they doing Meek. You see how they doing Meek. Bro, people, I'm telling you, people are shitting their boots right now. While living and traveling with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones discovered that he had cameras. All right, cool. Upon information and belief, these individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent. And as in the case with the homosexual sex tape of Stevie J that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs possessed compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak off parties and his house parties. Watch. Watch. If a list come out with all those people, it's gonna be career ending for a lot of people, bro. Upon information and belief due to this treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Mr. Combs believes that he is above the law and is untouchable. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs employs Jose Cruz as his IT director. This writer has spoken to several former employees of Mr. Combs to confirm that Jose Cruz is a gatekeeper to all of Mr. Combs' recordings. I bet you they interview his arrested his ass too. They'd be like, hey man, they probably arrested him like, hey dude, we don't want you, but if you don't snitch, we're gonna arrest your ass, put your ass away for like 25 years. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Like, Diddy's going down, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. Upon information, I believe Jose Cruz intentionally hides behind the camera and from social media and the internet due to all the incriminating acts he was required to record for Mr. Combs. They have his number. Okay. All right. So next up, we're gonna move to the last part. We have page 40. All right. This is the last part where it gets dicey. And you're reading all that. All right. Cool. I think it's 197. So this is where Young Miami comes into play. And there's been a lot of conversation around Young Miami. And I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. A lot of people have been talking about Young Miami. I don't really know my Young Miami. I don't really follow Young Miami. I don't like Young Miami's music. I was never really into City Girls. I like their first pop out song. But I personally believe that Diddy had a conversation with her when all this started to go down, and he told her, detach yourself with me as quick as possible. She did that. Now she's living her best life. I personally believe that Young Miami is not an informant when it comes to all of this. But she possibly could be. She possibly could be. Young Miami is not out of the clear when it comes to this stuff, because if they catch Young Miami any semi sort of way attached to this, she will go to jail as well. Robin Greenhill, the accountant who ensured the writing funds, who ensured the wiring funds transfer or cash payments to sex worker, Frankie Santella, Moy Bond, Fred Paul, and KK will also be responsible for ensuring payments to sex workers in cash. Young Miami, Jade, and Daphne Joy were paid a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs' sex workers and received a payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill, which outlined defendant's ongoing criminal operation. He literally just said that Young Miami is a sex worker. I don't even know what to say. I'm done. I'm done. This is one of the biggest cases. I think it's even more interesting than the Cassie case, because Cassie case blew the. I want you to understand. Cassie case kick a dough She kicked the door open. She kicked it wide open. Cassie kicked this wide open. Lil Rodney, he just made the suspicion. He just smacked everybody in the face with his suspicion. What will make this 10 times worse? If the feds say, hey, we have the videos, man. Put them out. Hey, here's a list of everybody that's been at these freak off parties. If the feds put that out, I promise you, the world is going to lose their... This is bigger than the R. Kelly case if you guys don't realize it. Bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than the R. Kelly case. It's bigger than that. Watch and wait. Watch and wait. Blameitonchriss said it here first. 2024 and 2025 will be the biggest years for celebrities getting taken down. The economy has played into it because we are tired of celebrities playing with us. But on the same time of this, as this, it seems like Diddy's sons feel that his father is innocent. Diddy was recently seen out going with his daughters. His sons are going out to the clubs that I work at in Hollywood this week. I'm gonna post a flyer. We don't know. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated. I want to give you guys the details. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Stay tuned. You don't blame it on Chris. I'm keep it with you real. Keep it real with you every single day. Excuse me. Make sure you like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, please. You already know this going on. Follow me on Twitch. What's going on? We out of here.